And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and football fans joining us across the nation, live from Tiger Stadium, it's showtime!
We welcome you to the Home Depot SEC on CBS. This afternoon from Tigers Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. One of the great scenes in all of college football, Death Valley. And the LSU Tigers at home for a game of some significance in the SEC. From the East, the Georgia Bulldogs 6-1. From the West, LSU, the defending national champions. Showtime indeed. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson and Tracy Wolfson. Not to stretch the analogy too tightly, but this one really does have the feel of a championship fight. Both of these teams with one embarrassing loss, but for the winner this afternoon, all things remain possible, including any inclusion in a national championship conversation. First on the field, the defending national champion, LSU Tigers. Making their first visit here since 2003, the Bulldogs of Georgia. Current standings, let's check the SEC East, where Florida is winning big this afternoon. Georgia comes in with a conference record of 3-1. Vanderbilt still very much alive. And out west, Alabama undefeated. They're at Tennessee this evening. And, of course, LSU with a 3-1 record giving chase. They've got Alabama here in 2 weeks. But let's not get way ahead of ourselves, Gary. Let's talk, first of all, about this defending national champion LSU team.
The hardest thing for a defending national champion is to get that intensity from a year ago because it seems such a long road. Two things have happened. They've got knocked down by Florida. That got their attention. But the advantage I think LSU has is their schedule. They are set up perfectly to make a run at the national championship. 5 home games remain on their schedule. They're all winnable. They'll be favored. That big Alabama game here, and then the road game at Arkansas is a winnable SEC road game. And what's happening to LSU now, they're catching their second win, and they're doing it with the fight analogy with some playmakers, some knockout punches. Keiland Williams has reemerged as a home run hitter. Demetrius Byrd, we saw him last year. He's going to do it again this year. He can score from anywhere, and that defensive line, they're as good. And their front defensive line, 2 sacks last week with that guy Tyson Jackson. They're primed. They're ready to defend.
You know, you look at the other side of the football, and Matthew Stafford is one of those Texas quarterbacks who's not getting as much attention, I don't think, as the Big 12 guys. But wow, what a weapon he is.
You know, he won't because it's a different type of offense, but he's primed. 2 years have been devoted for Matthew Stafford. They ran his arm early. We all know how he can throw the ball. Maybe no one in college football can do it. But now he's paid the price, and he's the supreme quarterback directing his team. A guy like him, experienced, the big arm, and he's been through it all, could steal a game like this from an LSU football team.
Well, Matthew Stafford will lead a Bulldog team that is really banged up. For more on that, here's Tracy Wolfson.
Guys, health is a huge concern for Georgia. I just spoke to their trainer. He told me 15 players have missed games this year. 14 players are out for the season, including 2 starters on the offensive line. The other position hit hard, the tight end. Starter Trip Chandler will miss his 3rd straight game. Bruce Figgins will play with a torn labrum, and backup Aaron White got hurt in practice this week, but he will try and give it a go. Defensively, linebacker Janelle Ellerby will miss his 3rd straight game, and linebacker Akeem Hebron fractured his ankle in practice. He is done for the year. Add in the fact that defensive tackle Brandon Wood has been suspended this week, and Georgia is extremely thin going up against a very physical LSU team, guys.
All right, Tracy, thank you. Georgia won the toss and deferred. LSU will get the ball. LSU leads the series. Their last meeting, folks at LSU haven't forgotten. Georgia knocked them out of the SEC championship game big time. Keiland Williams and Trindon Holliday are deep.
The most relevant game, I believe, for Georgia this year was when they played at Arizona State. This is similar to Arizona State. I suspect Georgia will give everything today. We should see the real Georgia team today.
Blair Walsh will kick off for the Bulldogs. This will be returnable along the far sideline. Holiday's got world-class speed. And he's bumped out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Vance Cuff, number 25, made the tackle.
Well, you think you got leverage on a guy. You think you can get him because you're supposed to stay outside. But C.J. Bird, number 5 there, says, holy cow. I thought I had him pinned in. He just ran right by me. That's what speed can do.
Jarrett Lee, the redshirt freshman, will open at quarterback. Quinn Johnson, the fullback, is one of those split wide to the top of the screen.
Nobody's covered up here. Laced by Bird out to the outside.
C.J. Bird moves over. Lee drills it, intercepted. Picked off in the middle by Darrell Gamble. He gets a block. There are no flags. Touchdown, Georgia. Very reminiscent of the Auburn game for Jarrett Lee. When he lobbed one out to the left, it was picked off and returned for a touchdown.
Gamble read Lee's eyes all the way. He was the middle linebacker on the play, and he caught the interception outside the hash mark.
Well, one of the things that we have seen from Jarrett Lee this season is his resiliency. It will be tested early. Blair Walsh, extra point, up and good, 40 yards. Darrell Gamble.
Subbing for Donnell Ellerby. He's right in the middle, right there. Watch how he takes the play and reads the quarterback's eyes all the way. Jarrett Lee should know better. He's looking left, looking left. There goes Gamble, picks it out right at the hash mark. Lee never saw him. Excellent job by a middle linebacker feeling the play. Georgia couldn't ask for any better, but as Vern told you, this quarterback's resilient. We'll see.
Blair Walsh will kick off for the second time. It goes toward Trendon Holiday again. Grabs it at the 6-yard line. And he's going to be bumped out of bounds just short of the 30. Let's take it. Charles Scott is the tailback, doesn't get anything. Akeem Dent, number 51, makes the tackle. Jarrett Lee from Brenham, Texas. Redshirt freshman starter. He'll alternate with Andrew Hatch. You can see for the season that was before that last interception. This is a really good veteran offensive line. Black, Johnson, Helms, Hitt, and Barksdale. Demetrius Bird and LaFell are the wideouts. Charles Scott opens at running back. Richard Dixon is the tight end. Expect to see a lot of him today. Handoff to Scott. Big hole right up the middle. Across the 30, out to the 33. Asher Allen makes the stop. Let's check the Georgia defense. Wynn, Urban, Atkins, and Lomax gets the start. At one defensive end, Gamble, you know by now, Rennie Curran is the best of the three. He's an outstanding linebacker. The secondary, Miller, P.J. Bird, Rashad Jones, and Asher Allen.
Oh, missed snap. Was not ready for it.
Flip it out to Scott. He's got enough for the first down.
Jarrett Lee was not ready for the snap that time. Brett Helms saw something, and Lee did a good job reacting to the ball he was not ready for. See, he's turning around. Look at that. He's actually going up to audible at that. Was almost another disaster.
Now, this is an LSU team that has fumbled only twice or lost only 2 all year. They'll give it to Scott, and he bangs his way out across the 45 near the 47-yard line. Gain of 8.
Well, we do know about LSU. They've been through it. They're a veteran team. Their offensive line are veterans. They know what it's like to be down in big games. They know that their offense is based, like a lot of them, but they love to make first downs. They feel first downs equal physical play. That's the goal.
Two wides to the left side here. Saron Black with a good block. And the pass comes right. And that's Chris Mitchell. That's good for a first down at the 41-yard line. Gain of 12. Well, this LSU team won the national championship. They're 5-1. They were humiliated 2 weeks ago in a Saturday night game at Florida. Scott. He's known for his power at the end of the run. You saw a great example of it right there. Quinn Johnson with a block.
Big Herman Johnson, 70 now. Watch, they're going to slam the nose tackle, Geno Atkins, right here in the middle. Watch the 360-pound guard slam him. Comes down, slams Geno Atkins, and then gets on Rennie Curran right there, second level. That's how you do it. You bang up front, and then you move to the linebacker.
Great early sign for LSU to get Scott going like this. He opened the season with 4 games in excess of 100 yards, but he's been held in check the last 2 weeks. He gets the ball here, comes right inside the 15, inside the 10.
Well, Shad Jones, number 9, has had somewhat of a highlight film of big hits the last couple weeks. He tries to put a big hit on Scott. Watch this. Bang! Puts him right on his knees, and Scott runs right through it. That's delivering a blow with your tailback.
Scott 5 for 41 in the loss at Florida. He was held to 35 yards, and now Keiland Williams comes in, as does Andrew Hatch at quarterback. Hatch known more for his running ability than throwing. And here's the option play. He's got Williams to pitch, and he is hauled down. No flag. Darrell Gamble with the tackle.
Wonderful play by Gamble. This is, I don't know if he got the face mask. It looked like his right hand might have got Hatch's face mask on the play. Oh, yeah, he did. He did. That was a good play by Gamble. He got away with it, so it's 2nd and 8.
Now Jarrett Lee is back in. Keiland Williams and Scott will be in the backfield. They used this formation last week to great effectiveness at South Carolina. Williams is the tailback, Scott the fullback.
Like to run the belly to the fullback out of this formation.
They pitch, and Keiland Williams is in trouble. Down at the 9. Rod Battle, number 41, and a defensive end, made the stop.
You can see the strength of the Georgia defense is the way they can run. They eat up space. All 11 of their players, I mean, even their defensive linemen, really eat up space the way they run on defense. It's can they be stout enough? Remember last year it was the screens. Demetrius Byrd, they'd find those type of screens in the situation a year ago.
Got a brief glimpse of Willie Martinez, defensive coordinator. Here's Lee.
There it is.
The screen inside. He gets a block. LaFell with a touchdown.
Everybody has an MO. Everybody has an MO. You're good at something, you run it.
Brandon LaFell, 4th touchdown catch of the year. The junior out of Houston. Now Colt David, the senior from Grapevine, Texas. The extra point is perfect. That pulls him to within 2 points of being the all-time scoring leader at LSU.
Well, a wonderful answer to a veteran team with a young quarterback. Give the credit to the offensive coordinator saying we're just not going to run it. We're going to do it all to win the SEC.
Brandon LaFell at the end of a 10-play drive. It took just under 5 minutes. So Georgia scores on the first play from offense from scrimmage in this game, a 40-yard pass interception. And we talked a little bit about Jarrett Lee's resilience. He showed you some of it on that drive. Jasper with the kick. This is Ramarcus Brown, number 11, at the 5. Chad Jones with the tackle at the 22. And let's introduce you to the Georgia offense presented by Nissan. Matthew Stafford, the junior from Highland Park, 61%, 697 yards, 1,600. Up front, this is kind of a makeshift offensive line. Bowling, Glenn, Jones, Davis, and Anderson. Massaquoi and Green are the wideouts. Marino is the very talented tailback, and it's 1st and 10 with Stafford under center. Marino, 1 yard. Marlon Favorite, number 99, with a tackle, one of the 4 guys up front. It's Jackson, Alexander, Favorite, and Pittman. In the middle, Derry Beckwith. Missed 2 games with the knee. He's down there urging the crowd to get into this thing. Hawkins, Coleman, Taylor, and Jai Eugene. Taylor, challenged by his coach for not playing well against Florida, came back with 7 tackles last week at South Carolina. Stafford pulls it back, wants to go deep. He's got a man wide open and overthrows him by 5 yards.
You think Stafford's juiced? Had Massaquoi wide open on the play, and could have been another big play in this football game. Matched up against the safety, Curtis Taylor comes free right on the safety and runs the flag route. Watch Massaquoi. You love it when you can get on a safety like that, run right by him and wide open. Whoa.
LSU now goes, to a defensive front they call the LSU Express.
4 defensive ends in the game. And they blitz.
Stafford drills it, got it. This was perfect. Catch is made by Michael Moore, number 82.
It was a great use of the snap by Stafford. He quick snapped it, and the safety was too deep to get into the quarterback, so it made it one-on-one to the outside. There's nothing Patrick Peterson could do. Early snap by Stafford meant the free blitzer didn't have time to get there, even though he was unblocked on the play.
Stafford, most in the SEC, completions in excess of 20 yards. That last one was 22. 1st down and 10. Hand off Marino. He comes left and gets out to the 49. Well, we mentioned this is kind of a patchwork offensive line.
It really is amazing. You look at LSU, they've had the same starters at every position for every game. And compare that to a young, interchanging because of injuries and switching guys around. Now, some of the same guys play different positions,
right,
but you can see the mix-up in that offensive line, and Stafford has had to solidify him with his quick release and run game with Marino.
2nd down and 5. Stafford with time, man open at the 41-yard line. Catch is made by
Stafford's pass complete.
Michael Moore.
Well, we talked about Stafford. I mean, you can't help it. You know, I think if you're a golfer and you watch Tiger Woods hit balls, you're amazed at what he can hit a 9-iron and you can hit a 7-iron. When you're up here watching Stafford throw the ball, he's just head and shoulders above most of the college quarterbacks you see.
Matthew Stafford just went in excess of 6,000 yards for his career. I formation now. Little quick flip. A.J. Green with the block. Moore with the catch. Been an active receiver in the early going, and he gets to the 21-yard line. Chris Hawkins, number 29.
We want to show you this throw looks so easy to the naked eye, but watch where Stafford puts the ball to the upfield. So he leads them upfield so the receiver can catch the ball and then keep his motion going forward. Here it goes. Throws outside, catch it going forward. That's perfect execution on that bubble.
10th play of this drive for the Bulldogs. We're tied at 7. Blitz from the corner. Marino tests the middle, and he's inside the 20 near the 17-yard line. Chris Hawkins and Derry Beckwith with the tackle.
Hawkins and Beckwith.
LSU has gone back to its base defense now. 4 down linemen, the normal complement of 2 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends. Brandon Sutherland, who missed The early part of the season with an injury is in at fullback now.
Actually, they got 2 fullbacks in the game. Sutherland's in motion.
Chappis leads the way from Marino to the 11-yard line. That's a first down.
This is such a confidence builder. We showed you how this offensive line supposedly is not a great matchup in this game. But with the 2 fullbacks, Chappis and Sutherland, watch Chappis 49. He's been doing a great. You put the tape on this guy, is one of the great readers of defensive lines and finding his guys in college football. 2 great fullbacks. I doubt if there's a team in the country that has 2 better than this.
High formation on first down. Massaquoi, top of the screen. They'll come to the near side. Marino slips the tackle and is stopped at the 6-yard line. Derry Beckwith again, number 48. 4:12 to go first quarter. This battle of heavyweights opened with Darrell Gamble's interception returned for a touchdown on LSU's first play from scrimmage. Made it 7-0. Then LSU came back, went 72 yards, 10 plays, got an inside screen and a touchdown from Jarrett Lee to Brandon LaFell. Now going the other direction. This sustained drive. This is the 13th play of this Georgia drive. King comes left, down at the 1.
That'll be a first down. They had an opportunity to make a first down. It's the read play, spread them out, second down, forced LSU to bring their dime package in the game and then kind of mauled them up front. Cordy Glenn, number 71, a true freshman, is handling the job up front early in this game.
First and goal, Georgia. Tie game 7-7.
Both teams look so comfortable, don't they, Vern, on offense?
Yes. Caleb King is the tailback, 2 fullbacks in. That's Sutherland in motion. No, it's Chappis. They give it to Sutherland. Touchdown, Georgia.
What a drive.
It was actually Fred Munzenmeyer. Fooled us.
Well, you never think they're going to hand the ball to Munzenmeyer, do you? You got to use all your weapons if you're going to move the ball against this team. I'll bet you LSU said there's no way the fullback's getting the ball. We don't even have him on our depth chart.
In the in-depth preparation we did for this ball game, Fred Munzenmeyer's name never came up.
Well, I tell you what, he rooms with Chappis, and now he's got a touchdown in the game. What an answer, and I thought Stafford and the offensive line were brilliant.
August 7th. I was expecting to see Fred Munzenmeyer. That surprised me.
I'll tell you, they rooted him out. Chappis got in there and fit in and kept, I thought Mike Bobo, offensive coordinator for Georgia, kept LSU's aggressive defense. They were fired up early in this game. Remember, kept them off balance the whole drive.
There you see it. 2 career touches, 2 touchdowns. Last year, he had 1 carry of 6 yards and a touchdown against Ole Miss. And happy to report that he is the recipient of the Larry Munson Football Scholarship.
Remember, the key play was the quick snap and 20-yard pass on 3rd and 9.
Larry, I'm sure, the legend, broadcaster of the Bulldogs, watching, probably got the sound turned down, so probably didn't hear that. First down 10, Jarrett Lee. And off Scott. About a yard.
So if you want to have some fun at home today, just try to locate number 35, the little weak side linebacker, Rennie Curran for Georgia. You know, if you've watched me do Georgia games, I bet he's been one of my favorites for the last couple years. We talked to him on the phone, and he said, you know, I just use a lot of different techniques against these big offensive linemen. I try to get under blocks, over blocks, spin through them, use leverage, anything I can to keep those big guys off my legs.
Had a high of 14 tackles one game earlier this year. Here's Jarrett Lee out of the gun. Steps up, lets it go. It's incomplete. Lucky for Lee, it wasn't knocked loose. And that initial contact by Jeremy Lomax.
This pass incomplete.
Well, you know, the Georgia defense that was so successful last year, or the second half with sacks, you know, they led the SEC in sacks, is ranked 8th in the SEC right now in sacks. But you kind of got to look between that a little bit more. Just 2 more sacks and they'd be 3rd. So, you know, they're right there. They're closing in, and that was great pressure right there on Lee.
Richard Murphy is in alongside Jarrett Lee. 3-man rush. Murphy gets the handoff, slips, and is down. Tried to make his cut, so it will be 4th down, our first punt of the game. Let's go back. All right, Tim, thank you. Well, of course, Colt McCoy. Ryan Perilou, who was dismissed from this squad before the beginning of this season. Perilou initially signed with Texas. And the ramifications from that decision and his decision to leave and come to LSU, long-lasting. Here's Prince Miller back to return the punt, the first punt of the game.
Fair punt by Miller. First down, Bulldogs.
1:26 to go, first quarter. 14-7, Georgia. Toss, left side. Marino. How about that nifty little move? All the way to the 25-yard line. Jai Eugene makes the tackle. It's a 46-yard run for Marino.
I'll tell you, though, Brennan Sutherland is so good. Watch number 36. He goes in motion, and then he reads the block at the end of the scrimmage to lead Marino. Watch, he reads it, it goes out, he cuts in, and then he fits right there and creates the gash in the defense. Look at that, and then Marino one cut. He's the best one-cut runner I've seen in a long time in college football.
Sutherland still on the field. Caleb King now behind him. They'll give Marino a chance to catch his breath. Play fake, Stafford. Right down. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Had a little speed on it, didn't he? Wow. D'Amico Goodman with the catch.
All you LSU defensive backs that think you can play in the NFL, it's kind of how it is in the NFL. The ball gets there, you know, so quickly that you must play tight coverage. You don't have time to react. And they're getting to the safeties again. This is a wonderful game plan by Georgia, getting their wide receivers on the safeties and ripping those long throws.
2 wide to the right. Moore is in the slot.
Ran the zone read last time from this formation. They've got it the other way. Let's see if they do it again. They do.
Caleb King goes right, and he's knocked down at the 5-yard line. Barry Beckwith, number 48, with the tackle.
What a first quarter for Georgia. What a first quarter for Stafford. It's one of those games when a veteran quarterback just might steal a football game, and Georgia's on fire.
Stafford 5 of 7 for 63 yards. That one went by quickly.
And beautifully for Georgia.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score, Georgia 14, LSU 7. We'll return to Tiger Stadium after this message and this word from your local station. Matthew Stafford with an outstanding first quarter, 5 of 7 for 63. He's got 4 wide receivers and Noshawn Marino on second down.
Would not be surprised if we could get a quarterback draw here.
Blitz.
Oh, blitz, he's going to get out of it. Now we're going to get the fade.
Here comes the blitz, and there goes the fade, and it is a touchdown, Georgia.
See, that's a veteran quarterback. You live with the guy as a freshman. He sees the blitz, and he goes to the next best play. Sees the blitz right in the middle right there, and he says, I'm going to run the fade right here. Got a plenty of space to the outside to just lob it up. That is wonderfully coached and wonderfully executed by a veteran quarterback and a Georgia team that has plenty of offense going in this game. Look at that.
Kenneth Harris with the touchdown. His first touchdown of the season. 21-7 Georgia. Blair Walsh will kick off. Trendon Holiday and Keiland Williams are the deep men. This one will come to Holiday at the 3-yard line. Has a little bit of room on the near side, and of course we've mentioned he's got great speed, a 10-2 measured 100-meter dash. Here's Lee. Got it to Richard Murphy. He's got some room and space. First down across the 50. The tackle made at the 44. That is a 15-yard gain.
We always talk about LSU's power and their strength up front. But if you look at this scheme right here. You line them up this way and you run the screen the opposite way. Wonderfully designed. Willie Martinez, the defensive coordinator for Georgia, told me that they do not face another team all year that gives them more formations or plays than LSU.
Gary Croton, the offensive coordinator, been here a couple of years. Here's the handoff, and it comes left. It's Murphy. Murphy inside the 35. Les Miles said yesterday, of all of his running backs, he probably reads defenses as well as any other.
Well, they got 4 of them, and they do different things. And it looks like Croton has got into his game that he was last year. Remember when he used the whole bevy of running backs and they all did something a little different? He's got almost a game plan for each different running back.
Richard Murphy still on the field, and Lee looks over to get the play. They'll come left. Murphy stuffed this time. It'll be second down and 10. Well, Hatch started the season, suffered a concussion, gave way to Jarrett Lee, and now is the backup, but they both get playing time. You see the comparative statistics for them. Andrew Hatch, the 24-year-old, Jarrett Lee, the 19-year-old, roommates, good friends. Lee from Brenham, Texas, Hatch here by way of Harvard and a Mormon mission in Chile. See, I did that story quickly tonight. It didn't take 3 plays.
You know, I don't think the 2 quarterback system is any big deal for these guys. We'll explore that a little bit later, why it isn't.
Here's Andrew Hatch, and he'll run the option. Pitches back to Keiland Williams. Georgia had that well read.
Williams carries the ball.
And for more on these 2 QBs, let's go down to Tracy Wolfson.
Well, Gary, you were just mentioning that it's not that big of a deal. Well, we spoke to them on Thursday, and they said they had all spring and summer to get used to it. They've learned to embrace the 2 quarterback system. And as you mentioned, Vern, they're good friends, they're roommates, they're even golfing partners. And you can just see on the sideline their interaction. They're often being talked to by coaches together on the sideline. They're going back and forth after they see something on the field. It's much a friendship as well as a partnership on the field.
All right, Trace. 3rd and 11.
Remember, it was the draw last time, but it's plus territory. They'll throw.
Lee does. Oh, boy, he was just about picked
interference.
off.
It's going to be interference.
Yeah,
Asher Allen grabbed Bird all a whole way on that play.
Georgia ball was hit in the line. Therefore, there is no pass interference, no flag on the play.
Pretty surprised they didn't call holding on the play either, though, and that would have not have been able to be waved off.
And that brings up a 4th down.
Yeah, let's talk about Willie Martinez. Now, everybody knows 3rd and long, advantage of the defense. But Martinez and Georgia believe they have the advantage in this game on 3rd and long because the young quarterbacks for LSU versus the veteran quarterback for Georgia.
Colt David on. This would give him the career scoring lead at LSU. This is from 51 yards away, and it is good.
Really no big deal there. Georgia only had 10 guys on the field, but it really didn't have any material on the play.
Colt David from 51 is now the all-time scoring leader in the history of LSU football. Our coverage of Home Depot SEC continues after this word from your local station.
Number 11.
Tipped pass led to a field goal attempt instead of a first down inside the 20-yard line. Josh Jasper, number 30, will kick off. Ramarcus Brown. Tackle at the 33-yard line. First down, Matthew Stafford. That one is tipped. Now that is a tipped ball. It was tipped by Tremaine Johnson, number 47.
Well, you can see this LSU team has decided we're going to play man-to-man coverage. They said, we're tired of watching these receivers get on our safeties in zone. We're going to kind of match up with them and force Stafford to make some tough throws here.
2nd down and 10. A.J. Green, wide left. Massaquoi, wide right. Stafford with the change.
Boy, is he on his game plan today.
Deep left side, man coverage. Incomplete, out of bounds. A.J. Green, the intended receiver.
I suspect Georgia will be conservative here.
LSU brings 4. Stafford across the middle, caught by Marino. And he's short of the first down.
Yeah, very conservative. No need to have a turnover right here when you're leading like this and have the flow of your game and your quarterback hot. You just don't want to ignite LSU. Good call by Mark Richt. That
will bring on Brian Mims. First punt for the Bulldogs in this ball game. And it comes on 4th and 3. 42.5 average. We saw him kick that 77-yarder. It got Georgia out of a huge hole. Early season game at South Carolina. Trendon Holiday is at the 20. The return is on all the way, and Mims sails it. Holiday will let it bounce, and it will go into the end zone. Touchback, LSU with the ball at the 20-yard line. 21-10, Georgia leading LSU in this battle in Death Valley. Jarrett Lee is the quarterback. Scott gets the handoff. Had a great start in this ball game, and that is his 7th carry. Gain of 6. 2nd and 4. Scott still the tailback. Lee still has it. Lobs it out, caught by Dixon, the tight end. Wide open at the 40. He gets out to the 47.
Dixon does such a nice job. He slams to simulate the run. That's what times it out so well. Watch him slam first and then go out for a pass. Line up right there. He slams, buys time, lets the flow come by, and then finds the open area. He was supposed to come way across the formation, but when he sensed that open area, he slowed down, put his hand up, told his quarterback, I found a little hole. Give it to me right here.
Charles Scott is the tailback. Scott gets it on the sweep to the left. He's got Helms out there, and Helms with a great block. Offensive linemen love it when they deliver that block out where all of us can see it, and Brett Helms got a really terrific block on Gamble.
And he's the center, and it stays right on that outside hit by Helms. He's behind big HJ right there, and that's a nice sweep. Pulls out your big left guard, 360, and Brett Helms, the outstanding center for LSU, and the offense continues to march and make first downs. And remember, that's how they feel they can be physical in the 4th quarter.
Now Helms over the ball. His dad and mom, both graduates of LSU. He's from Stuttgart, Arkansas. Here's the handoff to Scott. And again, he's moving the ball, running it well. That's his 9th carry of this first half of play. Rashad Jones makes the tackle. Quinn Johnson with a great block on that one. Well, Scott, we mentioned, started off with 4 games in excess of 100 yards. He had 160 in one of them. Trading Michael Smith, Arkansas. Marino with a 109-yard average. Glenn Coffey also at that mark. And now 2nd down and 5. 21-10 at the 8-minute mark. Terrence Tolliver is on the field. Lee goes inside for Bird. Bird breaks a tackle, breaks another. Heads for the corner. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
This is just spectacular by Demetrius Bird. Just spectacular. He reaches out and makes this catch and stops at the same time to change his direction. You just don't teach this stuff. Watch the slant there and then peel back the other way. Slant and peel back. Look at that. You just don't teach. He misses. 4 guys miss, and then his speed goes to the outside to get it down to the 2-yard line. Just wonderful execution and brilliant play by a wideout.
Andrew Hatch, the running quarterback, is in for LSU. Backs in the eye. Scott, the deep back. That's Johnson, the fullback, cheating and then leading the way, and it's a touchdown as Scott strolls in.
Your eyes take you to the hole. They follow your big fullback up front. As Vern said, that was just a strolling on that one.
Charles Scott's 9th touchdown of the year. Colt David's extra point is up and good.
It's good.
And LSU with 10 unanswered now. Here is the kick by Jasper. Remarcus Brown at the 1-yard line.
Oh, dead stop.
Ryan Baker, number 22. Oh, here's the toss to Marino. Look at him keep his balance. 2nd down, Stafford. Reverse, comes right. This is A.J. Green. Into space, still in bounds, and finally tackled inside the 40-yard line. Pretty good job play faking by Stafford.
One of the staples, if you watch Georgia football, turn your back, hand the reverse. It's a Mark Richt play, if I've ever seen one. Been in the offense as Mark was calling the plays.
David Green used to run that one to perfection for this Georgia team.
Georgia's controlling the clock, scores in their favor, and they get the ball to start the 2nd half.
That is a gain of 22 and a 1st down at the 39. Stafford with a toss. Marino comes right. Good job of holding him up by Kelvin Shepard. And then Coleman came up to help.
You know, Marino he's like a karate expert or something. He uses your force and kind of pings off it. You come at him, you hit him, and he kind of deflects it and goes forward. He's a very interesting runner to watch.
2nd down.
2nd down, 43-yard line.
Up the middle, no. Harry Coleman, number 24.
Well, you can see it. We talked to karate. There's a karate jump if I've ever seen one. And it's not like he just made this up. There's no shot in high school doing it. Of course, that guy's probably 5'5" or something.
High school, 6,268 yards.
Well, here's the play for the LSU defense. They got to force a field goal here.
3rd and 4.
Going to be a blitz. Here comes LSU.
Stafford knows it. Gets blocking, goes left, incomplete, or goes right. Intended for Massaquoi. And it will be 4th down.
Big stop for the LSU defense.
So Blair Walsh is going to come out now. He was only 1 of 3 last week, having gotten off to a great start. He was 10 of his first 12, and the only misses were in excess of 50. This will come from 50. Brian Mims is the holder. Got it.
Yeah, you could see all those red pom-poms go up. You knew right away. Right behind in the end zone right there.
Blair Walsh, freshman from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Tiger fans, it's time to take a look at what's coming up now.
Terrific ball game so far. As Georgia will go to the locker room leading by 7, 24-17. They got that The difference maker on the first play from scrimmage, a 40-yard pass interception return for a touchdown by Darrell Gamble as Jarrett Lee threw it into his arms. Let's go down to Tracy Wolfson with Les Miles.
Well, Coach, another slow start, down 21-7, but you were able to come back down just 7 now. What happened? What changed?
2 turnovers leads to 10 points of theirs. We take those turnovers back. This is an entirely different ball game. We just got to come back out and not turn the ball over and play like we play. We need to stop their run. Defensively, that's the first thing that we got to get accomplished.
How do you do that?
The back end of this half, we played pretty well. If that's consistent, then that's just how we want to play.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
See you.
Thank you, Tracy. 24-17 at the break. Georgia leads it. Now let's go to Tim Brando in our New York studio. SAC on CBS. At halftime, Georgia leads it 24-17. We get set for the start of the third quarter with Gary Danielson and Tracy Wolfson. I'm Vern Lundquist. We are glad to have all of you with us. 92,904 in attendance. That's the second largest crowd in the history of Tiger Stadium. Josh Jasper will kick off. Marcus Brown deep for Georgia. They lead it 24-17. And here's Brown a yard into the end zone. Knocked down at the 36-yard line a moment ago. Tracy Wolfson with Mark Richt.
Coach, you were up 21-7 in that first quarter, but what happened to allow LSU to come back in the second?
They're a great football team. It's a heavyweight fight, just like their newspaper said this morning. They're a great football team. We're playing our tails off, and they are too.
The question going in was, how would your young offensive line handle their big front defensive line? How do you think that they've handled it so far?
I wouldn't say they've handled it, but they've held their own. They've done a pretty good job. I'm proud of them so far, but the game hadn't even started yet.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck.
Here's the toss to King. Going right and nothing doing. Perry Riley, number 56. Stayed home and made the tackle.
Caleb King carried the ball. Tackled by Perry Riley, number 56.
A moment of quiet here.
Yeah. Join the game.
Doesn't happen very
No
often.
gain. Second down, 10. Tiger.
Now Raheem Alem is on the field. Defensively, he had the big sack on the opening possession of this game. It is the LSU Express. There's Alem. 5 sacks for the season, 1 in this game.
Danny McCray's in the game. He's a good blitzer. Let's see if he blitzes. Yes, he does.
Stafford reads it. A.J. Green drops it. It'll be third down.
Incomplete. Aimed at number 8.
Having trouble getting A.J. Green off, so they call a wide receiver screen to him and slips. The slip actually caused the drop pass.
Third and 10.
So what do? Do you come after Stafford on 3rd and long? Remember last time you did it, he threw a 20-yard play.
LSU will come up in press coverage on the corners. Stafford with a play fake. He is blitzed. He goes deep. A.J. Green. That's going to be a Georgia touchdown.
They blitzed him, and they went to A.J. Green. You can almost feel it coming.
49-yard touchdown. Eugene.
Yeah, got inside. He was beat at the line of scrimmage. That's how you do it.
Mom and Dad, John and Margaret Stafford from Highland Park. Matthew Stafford. Here's the kick from Walsh, up and good.
Well, it's going to be a slot blitz coming off the slot right here. Okay, but watch at the bottom of the screen. Eugene gets beat at the line of scrimmage. Here comes the blitz. Bang, he's gone. He's past him. And when you got a rocket arm like that, that is so well thrown. Last thing, you don't get to the gunslinger gets you.
Scoring drive, 72 yards, 7 plays. It took 3 minutes.
Matthew Stafford, 49-yard pass. A.J. Green, 31-17 for the day now. 14 of 21, 161. Those of you who are keeping up with his alma mater, Highland Park, last night, the Scots fell behind 28-7, but came back to win that game over Royce City.
Oh, yeah.
48-43. The Scots are undefeated, 8-0.
My partner does his homework too, I'll tell you that.
Oh, goodness. Here's the kick.
Oh, couple big blocks. He might have some.
Holiday. No, he was taken down by Rennie Curran.
You got to think Georgia stop quarterback draw first. Make him throw.
3 down. Blitz coming.
Quarterback draw.
Yep. Got it. And more.
Try to change a pace that you can almost feel this quarterback draw coming. Hatch gets it and runs right through one tackle, picks up a first down, and very fortunate that C.J. Bird was able to stop a touchdown play on it. Got overran a bit by Rashad Jones that time, number 9, the other safety.
Andrew Hatch is the 3rd leading rusher on this team, and you've just seen his longest run of the season. That was 20 yards. Previous long was 19. Georgia's rush defense, 61 yards coming in. Here's Hatch. There's Scott. And the surge goes to the 25-yard line. That's a gain of 4. Darrell Gamble in the middle.
About time we're going to see Keiland Williams here pretty soon in this game, too. Remember, he can throw the ball, a little more trick plays.
And on cue, here comes Keiland Williams.
Well, now are they keeping Scott in the game, or they took Scott out?
Yep.
Remember, he had the halfback pass against Auburn for the touchdown.
Demetrius Byrd goes wide to the left. LaFell is wide right. It's 2nd down and 6. Hatch fakes the toss, rolls right. He's chased and has to throw it
that's
away.
going to be intentional grounding, that one, for sure.
Yep, there it is.
They were trying to get the ball back to Keiland Williams, but they did not have time to look back. It was a trick play. The trick plays on offense have not been working. Watch Keiland Williams get caught in the trash.
Intentional grounding, number 14 on the offense. The penalty will be enforced at the spot of the foul, loss of down, 3rd down.
Keiland Williams, the fake, he's going to try to come out to the backside. Hatch is going to try to go right and throw back the other way. See the fake? But the pressure forces Hatch. He can't stop and tries to throw it away. He doesn't get it past the line of scrimmage. Good call.
That's Justin Houston, number 42. The redshirt freshman from Statesboro, Georgia, who had the pressure on Hatch. 3rd down.
Not likely to pick up a first down, but 10 yards would take a 14-point game with a field goal try. Got to get inside about 50 yards.
Out of the spread. 2 wides to the left, 2 to the right. And Scott is the running back. There to provide blocking help on this play. Hatch slips a little bit, but he finds Demetrius Byrd. You're right, Gary. Absolutely. That will set them up for the field goal.
Yeah, now will Les try to go for a 4th down? I think a field goal is the call right here.
Colt David is on the field.
Square into the inside right there. They hold him inside with the linebackers and throw it right into beneath.
Now Colt David back on the field. Recall that he scored on a fake field goal last year.
Just remember, an offside here is going to give a first down. If they've got some kind of gimmick snap here, they could steal a first down.
This will come from 40 yards. Here's Colt David.
Nope.
Wide right.
How about that? How about that?
Colt David is now 1 of 2. Georgia still leads by 14. It's 31-17. First down 10, Georgia.
Here's the situation for Georgia, though. You can't put it away and just hand the ball to Marino. They will not be able to block that defense. You have to keep it wide open to continue to move the ball.
High formation on first down. Stafford with the audible. Here's the toss, Marino. So patient. And he breaks loose. He does not have great speed. And he's in a foot race and is not caught from behind. Touchdown, Georgia.
Holy cow.
68 yards. Derry Beckwith, the middle linebacker, chasing him. Blair Walsh for the extra point. Well, that is not the longest run of Knowshon Marino's career. That was 68. He has a touchdown in the books at 80 yards. Blair Walsh's extra point is up and good. And shock has settled in at Tiger Stadium.
Well, it was so patient. Vern made the call. Patient at the line of scrimmage, readjust, and then accelerate. Derry Beckwith got out of whack. He got too wide. The coaches told us we want to play everything inside out and force Marino wide. They didn't do it. Gashed them for 7 points.
Remember the story? Knowshon Marino out of New Jersey made a 15-hour train trip down to Athens and signed with Mark Richt's team. 26 touchdowns, now equaling the mark held with Thomas Brown. And Knowshon Marino, after that 68-yard scamper, 140 yards in this game.
Remember, it was Game 7 last year against Vanderbilt that Marino was really unleashed. 28 for 157. He followed it up against Florida, 33 for 188. It's almost the same exact time of the year. Marino is starting to assert himself.
Walsh with the kick. Georgia by 21. Holiday coming right, looks for a block from Keiland Williams, gets it. And his bump as it goes out of bounds. That'll be 15.
Yep.
You betcha. Les Miles is going to stay with Andrew Hatch. Holiday is also on the field. The 5'5" running back / wide receiver / kick returner. And he gets it and doesn't get much.
Oh, it's Rennie Curran. The guy breaks down his feet. You watch him in the game tapes. His feet are so quick. It's just hard to even explain. He really never sets his feet. They're always just going and moving and getting inside people, ducking inside guys. That time he ducked inside Barksdale and made the tackle.
Second down, 9. 38-17, 3:18 to go, third.
Calling a different play. Georgia is not adjusting. They like their defense.
The handoff goes to Scott. Breaks up the middle. Breaks a tackle. Got a chance. No, the knee came down. Oh, no, they said touchdown. I thought his knee hit at the 1. Take another look. 43 yards. Barksdale with the key block, number 78.
Nothing fancy for either team here on this play. One was a toss, the other one an inside zone. Does his knee go down?
Yep.
And now, the ball was very close. Very close.
Did the ball break the plane?
We haven't seen anything yet to overrule it. Remember, the officials are on the line saying when his knee went down. It looks like it's short to me.
After review, the runner's knee was down before he crossed the plane of the goal line. The ball will be placed on the 1/2-yard line. It will be first down and goal, LSU.
That one pretty obvious.
Yeah, remember that the nightmare we were there for LSU when that happened to Hester at Florida, and the next snap was fumbled by Russell?
I do remember. So does this guy.
It's not over.
Scott is the tailback. Quinn Johnson is number 45, the fullback. And Andrew Hatch under Brett Helms, the center. Handoff Scott, left side. Moot point. Touchdown. Well, they got 7 back quite quickly.
Yeah. Both teams' bad linebacker play really cost big plays on the long runs. One was a score, one down to the inch line, and then the power is too much for the little bit undersized Georgia defense.
Scott with 130 yards on the ground today. And Colt David with the extra point. Hooks it inside the left upright. It is good. And with 2:47 to go in the third quarter, That one took 3 plays, 44 yards, set up in part by a 15-yard personal foul penalty. Little light pump back into the student section here at LSU. A quick touchdown strike, and it's 38-24 with 2:47 still remaining in the third quarter.
Remember, Les pooched it against Auburn. I think this offense is too good to pooch it.
So he does not. Ramarcus Brown muffs it, picks it up, got him at the 10. He'll throw on first down. Goes across the middle. Oh, my gosh. Out to the 45-yard line. The 50, the 45. And Aaron White makes his first catch of the year.
Didn't even know if Aaron White was going to make the trip. Tight end right here coming across. You see the 8th man in the box. The safety's up. You know Stafford audible to it. He's been in complete control. He says, look it, trust me. I'll find the right guy. Gets it to the big tight end, Aaron White. And the guy who didn't know if he was going to make the trip makes the big catch.
First career reception, 48 yards. It was Harry Coleman, the safety, who stumbled and then caught up with him. Here's Stafford. Right side, diving catch is not made. Michael Moore, it's incomplete. That is the end of 3 here in Baton Rouge with a score 38-24. We'll return to Tiger Stadium right after this word from your local station. And Mark Richt on the sidelines.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
I don't see anyone who's not listening.
No, they're looking at him, right?
Here's the toss. Marino goes left. Sutherland helping him. Gets a block on Shepard. And Marino is out to the 50 and then down to the 45-yard line.
Sometimes the safety blitz helps you. Sometimes you run yourself right out of the play. That time he ran himself right out of the play. And Sutherland to the outside fits up and makes another 6-7 yards. That was just so easy. Run so well. Safety blitz, anticipating a run play. I got to say it. Perfect call by Mike Bobo. He's having a game of his life.
Well, Sutherland missed a couple of games, more than a couple. Look at this, and the difference with him and when he was not able to play. First down and 10. Caleb King to the 44-yard line. And
oh, wow.
No, my. Thank you, Tim. Second down here.
2 big losses for the SEC. You got to say it. West Virginia wins, and now Duke wins. You want to win tiebreakers at the end of the year. You got to win those non-conference games.
Out of the spread, Stafford. Oh, he's got A.J. Green all by himself at the 20. Hit from behind by McCray and down at the 11.
Mike Bobo is having the game of his life. Remember those little wide screens they've been doing where we've been bragging on Stafford? They fake it this time. Up comes the safety. Watch him fake the little wide screen, and then bang, 2 guys close in on what they think is the screen, and what a call. Great execution. Who's happier, Mr. or Mrs. Stafford right there? They might have one more play like that. They might have another Matthew coming.
Oh, goodness. First down. 20-yard plus. Georgia was 7 today. Now Durham goes left.
What a call by Mike Bobo. Holy cow, he's like he's inside the head of LSU's defense.
And you had just said that they had to come up with something big, and they haven't. 38-24, 11:45 to go. Stafford pumps, goes, and throws it away.
Beautiful,
yes. Yep.
Beautiful.
Second down.
Stafford's pass incomplete.
Tried to find something. He audible to a play, didn't get it. Didn't get what he wanted, just chucks it away. The only thing that bad happened on that one for Georgia is clock stopped. Field goal is huge, and time is huge now.
Durham goes left again. Stafford signals behind him to Marino. Marino has it, little stutter step, and he drives down to the 6-yard line where it will be 3rd down.
Yeah, I'll bet Georgia anything. Georgia wanted that on the first down call. Take 40 seconds off the clock. If that's a first down play, now you're 2nd down instead of 3rd. It's just a huge difference. Well, you know, you live with his good audibles. Sometimes you get, I used to say that, Coach, you didn't complain to me when I made those other good audibles. That was a bad one, sorry.
3rd and 6. Clock running with 11:07 remaining.
Field goal is huge. If you're going to throw, you can't make a mistake. Remember, he had the quarterback draw earlier in the game.
4-man rush. Boyes the quarterback draw. Touchdown, Georgia.
We saw it last year. You just know they can't gamble.
Can I ask you a question? Do you get embarrassed at all when you call these things correctly? No? Yeah.
It just makes sense, that's all. I tell you, Mike Bobo's having a better game than I am.
No, I disagree. That's the reason our crew calls him Nostradamus. Nostradamus. I'll get it right.
Close enough.
Yeah, I know it.
Remember, we saw it last year. Was it the Florida game he did this somewhere? I just knew it was coming. And Mom and Dad says, it's a long drive, but it's worth it. Les Miles now, this game finishes the way it looks like it is. And it's not over, obviously. Is going to need help. He's going to need help from Tennessee maybe tonight, or Auburn down the road, and he has to beat him himself.
And that was the point when we came on the air that the winner of this one has everything in play. Here's Holiday out of bounds at the 28. It is Jarrett Lee who's in the quarterback, much more gifted at throwing the football, and they trail by 21 points. Keiland Williams also in. Here's Lee across the middle. Demetrius Byrd, number 2. Asher Allen and Darrell Gamble.
Every completion by Georgia that isn't a first down is a victory for the defense.
2nd down 12, 25-yard line.
Jarrett Lee for the day, 7 of 17 and intercepted twice. Draw play. Keiland Williams starts right, comes left, tackled. It'll be 3rd and long. Darrell Gamble, number 50, makes the stop.
Williams carried the ball, tackled by Darrell Gamble.
See Sean Chappis, the starting fullback. He and Sutherland now about 50-50 in that position. 3rd and 9. Lee from the spread. 3 men wide to the right, 1 to the left. Lee pulls up, lobs it for Keiland Williams.
Man, what a play.
Yes, indeed. One man can get him. Williams. That one man got him. It's Byron Evans. Knocked him out of bounds. Had the angle. He's out of bounds at the 6.
What a wonderful play by Lee. Matchup is right here. Linebacker on Keiland Williams. Watch Lee come up in the pocket. Curran turns his back for a second, and he's gone. When you play man coverage, you can't get nosy and look at the quarterback. You got to stay with your guy. Huge play by Jarrett Lee.
That's a 66-yard gain. Lee is back. Flips it out to Williams. He's got 2 blockers in front, and he's in for the touchdown. Taint over.
Oh, no.
Taint over.
No way. Plenty of time.
Jarrett Lee for the touchdown toss to Keiland Williams.
The one thing you can't give up when you're up big is the big play. You just can't let a team eat up a lot of yardage in one play like that. If they score and it takes 8 plays, no big deal.
Cole David on for the extra point. Up and good. And it's a 14-point margin once again.
Another screen pass in the red zone. Remember, we saw the wide receiver screen. Now we see the running back screen.
And it's 45-31. LSU comes right back. LSU has shown the ability to come back under Les Miles in the 4th quarter 10 times. most recently at Auburn.
Yeah, I don't think he's been down 21, but, you know, real interesting here. I'd say about 30% of the fans, LSU fans, obviously, not Georgia fans, have left the game. I know LSU is thinking of Les Miles second, just give me the ball with a chance to tie the game.
Here is the kick. It goes right. This might be out of bounds. It is. Oh, dear.
Ball was out of bounds.
Stafford has Marino as his tailback. Brandon Sutherland is the fullback. It'll be the toss to Marino. He comes right. And the clock will continue to unwind. 4:55 to go. Thank you, Tim. 4:25 to go. Second. It will be third down at the 16-yard line. Whoop. Fight breaks out. Who we got? Justin Anderson and Tyson Jackson.
Hope it's offsetting.
Yeah, I do too.
Right. Been a pretty clean game.
Here's the call.
After the play, personal foul, number 79 on the offense. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal. It will be third down.
And more importantly, it stops the clock. Can't have stuff like that happen. Push one way, way after the whistle. Yeah, he's going to get it.
Dead ball, personal foul.
Anderson, the redshirt freshman right tackle, 75 penalties. They trail only TCU in that category. And 4:07 to go in this one.
I see LSU did not have to burn a timeout. Game's not over now.
Israel Trout, number 28, on the field. Wide right, bottom of your screen. See if this play is designed for him. It is not. Guess who's got it? Stafford put it in Caleb King's stomach, pulled it out, ran left.
Yep.
Stafford.
And LSU will take their timeout now, and look, they're going to get the ball back in a situation. The penalty cost 40 seconds for Georgia.
Beckwith, tackle.
Les Miles, LSU Tigers trail by 14. They are now out of timeouts. 3 minutes, 43 seconds remaining. Tone of this game kind of set on the very first play from scrimmage.
Got to go for the block. They've had no returns all day.
Well, they've got 10 up.
They're going.
Yep, here they come. Mims sends it high, and Holiday drifts back and grabs it at the 34-yard line.
Right down for Georgia, force them wide.
Out of bounds. Is there a flag?
I don't think so. Oh,
yeah,
real.
Now, how about that? The flag was thrown by the umpire, who was back at the 35-yard line.
Two guys standing right there. The umpire from 20 yards calls it.
Curran made the tackle.
You know, you're trying to catch a water bug there. He hits him inbounds. It's a terrible call if that's the call.
Personal foul, number 80 on the receiving team. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 10.
It was not. It was somewhere else on the field. Because Rennie Curran hit him before he went out of bounds.
So the call is made against Terrence Tolliver.
Personal foul. Dead ball foul.
And that will be marked off against LSU.
Here's the deal for LSU now.
First down for the Tigers.
If they don't get an onside kick, they have no chance. They, you know, even if they score, they got to get an onside kick or they're not going to win the football game.
Well, they load up with 3 wide to the right, 1 bottom of the screen to the left. Jarrett Lee for the day, 12 of 24, 206. 3-man rush. Lee, oh boy, intercepted by Gamble. That's his second of the day. He's got a convoy as he heads left, chased by Big Herman Johnson. He is in for the touchdown. 2 interceptions for returns and touchdowns for Darrell Gamble.
Tampa 2 is what this is called. Jarrett Lee misread it. He thought it was double zone. Tampa 2 is where the linebacker cheats back. Watch Gamble right here. Watch him turn and run and cover deep. He just turned and run, covers deep. Jared Lee thought he was going to stop and play the zone. Excuse me, to not get my telestrator off in time there. But notice the 51 points on the scoreboard. Florida, 51 points. Georgia matches it with 51 points. And so I think they meet pretty soon.
I've heard the rumor that they will meet in Jacksonville next Saturday afternoon.
What a win for Mark Richt. What a win for Georgia. The preseason #1 Georgia Bulldogs come in and win when LSU had it in their sights that they had 5 home games.
Darrell Gamble. That's the punctuation mark.
Look at that.
Cool him down. Cool him down.
2 touchdowns. Holy cow.
Look at Noshawn Marino. Oh, how terrific.
You got to go back.
Remember, you got to get back out there, Darrell. Come on, you're on kick coverage.
Remember, he's substituting for the starter, Ellerby, in this game, too. Isn't that something?
Redshirt sophomore out of Bainbridge, Georgia, Darrell Gamble. Last time, Les Miles' team gave up 50 or more twice in a season. He was at Oklahoma State in 2003. First down and 10. Lee hands it off. Scott across the 50. Rennie Curran with another tackle. That's a gain of 12. 3:10 to go in this one. Matthew Stafford, big day, 17 of 26 for 249, has led his team. Noshawn Marino, number 24, 163 yards rushing, 68 of those on 1 scamper for a touchdown. Georgia has 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns by linebacker Darrell Gamble, and they lead it 52-31.
And let's make another point about Georgia. Yeah, their playmakers came through. But how about that young offensive line? We showed you how many changes they have made in that offensive line. They're going to rush today for more than 200 yards against this very proud defensive team. Remember what Les said to Tracy at halftime. We got to stop the run or we're not going to win. And they didn't do it.
Here's Lee, left side. Brandon LaFell. Whoa! He's going to score for LSU. 43-yard run. This is getting ridiculous.
Well, Georgia is just ready to go in. This is an 8-yard or 12-yard pass for a touchdown against a zone defense. Goes down 5 yards, 6 yards. Shad Jones has had a tough day today. Shad Jones is not going to be as happy as everybody else on the plane ride back home because he's been fanning some tackles.
Colt David for the extra point. Up and good.
And here comes the onside kick practice.
Well, they trail by 14 once again.
Onside kick here is, I feel, one of the most dangerous plays in college football, and I think the rules, the people in the charge, need to take a look at this. What happens nowadays is the kicker kicks it, it bounces on the ground, it pops it very high, and these guys come in and attack the player. He's very vulnerable to injury. There's the bounce. Watch him attack.
Yes. And it is taken by Muhammad Massaquoi, and Georgia will take over. Nice play by the wide receiver, Massaquoi. Here's David.
The new technique has that ball bounce, and now they can just attack the players. Massaquoi goes up and gets it over Tolliver. Very aggressive, good play. And Georgia's going to face Florida. And boy, a lot happened last year, and a lot, I assume, will happen this year.
Interesting footnote here for Georgia. They are flying directly home to Athens tonight. First time since the early 70s. It's a place with a very short runway, but they're going on regional jets tonight. Well, Mark Richt has a record that is really enviable. He is going to go to 28-4 in games away from Athens in his tenure as head coach.
And how about what he told us? He goes, we're so successful that we as a staff tried to implement some of the things we do on the road for home games. Like maybe we're recruiting a little too much. We're not staying with our players enough. We've looked at our schedule on the road and tried to do it at home. That's pretty interesting.
52-38 with 65 seconds to go. And there's the redshirt sophomore, Darrell Gamble. That ties an NCAA record for linebackers. 2 interceptions returned for a touchdown.
First runner-up, don't you think? I mean, co-player of the game.
Well, he's better than Miss Congeniality.
No doubt about that. But listen, we started it out by saying when you have a quarterback that has been through it for a couple years, he can come in and steal a game. He led the team to this win. There's not a lot of quarterbacks in college football that come here and engineer a game like this and beat this LSU team. He was magnificent at the line of scrimmage all day.
Takes a knee, and we've got 15 seconds to go. This one is in the books.
Mark was upset because he wanted him to kind of jostle around a little bit so he didn't have to punt the ball.
First down.
My fault there. He didn't want to just let them have the ball right away. He wanted to run the clock down to maybe 5 or 6 seconds before he turned it over. You know, looking into all of the games, you know, there were a couple key games looking at college football to start this year. Obviously, that Ohio State game at USC, maybe the #2 game in the country going into preseason was Florida, Georgia, and it's going to live up to its billing.
And 5 seconds to go. This will be the final play of the game. Here's Lee back. Most of the LSU fans long gone. Here's LaFell with a lateral. Demetrius Byrd. And a lateral again, and he's out of bounds. Perfectly executed, but 12 yards short. And those who stayed came all the way dressed in red. They didn't have the greatest seats in the house, but they enjoyed it. Mark Richt, Les Miles, center of the field. Georgia wins it big time. Comes into Death Valley and knocks off LSU, the final 52-38. Next week, we'll be in Jacksonville. Florida, Georgia meet again. For Gary Danielson and Tracy Wolfson, Vern Lundquist, good night from Baton Rouge.